Hello and welcome to IU NewsNet Daily. I'm Catherine Patterson. Today we're bringing you the latest on tornado damage across Indiana, and you'll hear about student perspective on IU's Climate Action Committee.
And I'm Abby Haymond. We have the latest on IU softball and baseball.
And there's an Easter art contest in Pennsylvania where artists can only use one unique item. NewsNet Daily begins now. Several areas in the Hoosier State are still recovering from this past weekend. The National Weather Service confirms that at least 19 tornadoes touched down Friday night. The hardest hit areas were Whiteland in Johnson County and in Sullivan County. Whiteland, shown here, is about 45 miles northeast of Bloomington. 3 people died in Sullivan County, roughly 50 miles east of us. And roughly 20 minutes away in Owen County, 2 campers died in McCormick's Creek State Park. If you'd like to provide financial assistance, the Wabash Valley Community Foundation set up a fund for Sullivan County. You can find it at wvcf.org. Fire Angels Incorporated is collecting clothing for Whiteland victims. Details are available on Facebook, and the American Red Cross and the Salvation Army are also taking donations to assist storm victims. And just a day before extreme weather struck Indiana, IU's Climate Action Planning Committee held a forum at the IU Auditorium, sharing additional information on its plan for IU to be carbon neutral by the year 2040. The committee was established after multiple student protests in the spring of 2022, including by the group Students for a New Green World. Although the activists played a major role in the creation of the committee, and despite multiple requests for recognition, none of the Green World members are included on the board.
There are tons of dedicated, informed students who are ready to help and want to give input, and they are consistently excluded and ignored. And we don't even really know why.
The committee looks towards solar, hydrogen, and nuclear energy for IU's campus in the future. A Bloomington environmental activist was arrested at Cop City in Atlanta in early March, according to the Indiana Daily Student. Local Maggie Gates was charged with domestic terrorism as she protested the police training facility, which is to be built in a forest in the Atlanta area. She was recently granted bond and is expected to be released this week. Gates's preliminary hearing will likely be in May. And now to the arts in Bloomington. Next week, the final musical of the IU Auditorium season comes to town. Annie will be at the IU Auditorium next Tuesday and Wednesday. The shows start at 7 p.m. If you love this childhood classic, tickets for students start at $17. And now turning to sports, Abby, basketball season is over for the IU women's team, but the team continues to make history.
That's right, Catherine. Indiana's season may have been cut shorter than they had hoped, but that has had no effect on the historic milestones they have accomplished this season, including their head coach. Last week, Teri Moren was named the 2023 AP Coach of the Year. Her team, joined by her dad and sister, surprised Moren with the news. Moren said after winning the award, quote, "It only happened because I have the best staff in the country and the best players in the country. Without any of these guys, none of that's possible, but what a cool surprise," end quote. She is the first coach in program history to hold this highly respected title. Moren also won the Big Ten Coach of the Year this past season and became the program's all-time winningest coach. She and her team's accolades this season will be remembered for a long time to come. Now, jumping right into spring sports, we turn to Indiana softball, who just keeps on winning. The team is moving up, now numbered 19 in the rankings this week, following another series sweep, this time over Ohio State. While freshman Taryn Kern continues to impress, leading the Big Ten in numerous categories, this week 2 new names earned Big Ten honors. Sophomore Taylor Minnick earned the Big Ten Co-Player of the Week, and Avery Parker earned Big Ten Freshman of the Week. Indiana hopes to extend its program record 21-game win streak as they head to Bowling Green, Kentucky today to take on WKU. And now Tyler Vondry is here to catch us up on IU baseball.
Thank you, Abby. Indiana baseball got back in the winning column on Sunday as they took care of business in a doubleheader against Penn State. In Game 1 against Penn State, the Hoosiers earned a comfortable 4-1 win. The Hoosiers produced early. scoring 1 run in the first inning and 3 more in the second. Thanks to early offense, Indiana's defense was then the key to victory. Sophomore Ryan Kraft earned his second win of the season, allowing only 1 hit in 5 1/3 innings pitched. Game 2 of this doubleheader turned out to be in stark contrast to Game 1. Game 2 was an offensive outburst for the Hoosiers as they steamrolled past Penn State, winning 22-11. It was the second highest scoring game in series history. Indiana scored in 7 of 9 innings, and Indiana's 22 runs scored tied for number 5 all-time in a Big Ten game. The Hoosiers are now 20-8 and currently riding a 3-game win streak and will continue to look impressive output against Indiana State today. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Tyler. And one more thing before we go. This Sunday is Easter, and in addition to religious celebrations, it also means it's time for Peeps. The marshmallow treats are extremely important in Peddlers Village, Pennsylvania. This time of year, there's a Peeps-themed art contest. The Visitor and Event Center is covered in wall art, sculptures, and dioramas. And the one sweet rule is the creations have to be made of Peeps. And that's not the only competition in regards to Peeps. The Washington Post is also having a diorama contest made completely of Peeps on their TikTok, so make sure to check that out if you want to be creative. Well, that's a wrap for today's IU NewsNet Daily. Tune in for the latest updates on all Hoosier news and sports.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram at IUNND.
For IU NewsNet Daily, I'm Katherine Patterson.
And I'm Abby Heyman. Thanks for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.